Welcome back, YouTubers. Chas here. A couple months ago, I was in my local makerspace. It's Snowco Makerspace. It's a 24-hour kind of a gym, but with tools instead. So you can laser stuff, route weld, 3D print, electronics, etc., etc. Anyways, I was doing a workshop for people, showing them how to use the Shapeoko 3XL CNC router. I teach people how to use this machine with the HDPE type of material. It's a type of plastic, and I use that material because it mills gorgeously. It turns out great results. It gives people a lot of inspiration to continue using this material and the machine, really. One of the members, he asked about one of his projects. He wanted to glue the HDPE. I told him, kind of with my default answers, no, you cannot glue HDPE. Finished the class. A little while later, 2-3 weeks later, he emails me and said, actually, there's this JB Weld stuff out there, and supposedly it does the trick. And he sent me this thing, and you'll see that in a little bit. I shot this intro just because at the time I did the video, kind of had a cold, and I edited out a lot of like sniffing and whatever. And I'll put somewhere up in here a kind of a tip where you can just fast forward to the end and find out how it went, and if you don't want to see how I did it and what my setup was. So anyways, please enjoy, and if you have any tips or anything, drop them down in the comments. Thanks. They're asking how to glue the HDPE if you're doing two pieces, and I said, well, you don't glue HDPE, you can't glue HDPE. And he shot back an email to me a couple days ago, and he's like, well, apparently you can glue HDPE, and sent me this. And I guess I gotta put my money where my mouth is, or at least find out if you really can, because if you can, that's great. HDPE is my favorite plastic. I love it for milling. It mills beautifully if you have the right bits. He sent me a link here, and I looked online a little bit. He sent me this link here on hunker.com from Aaron Watson Price, and blah blah blah. You can either heat up the edges with a propane torch and glue, or sand and glue, and you can look it up yourself. A little bit of Google will help you out there. I'm not going to heat it up by torch. I guess if that's the way to do it, that's the way to do it, but I'm gonna go with the sanding tip, and they recommended I think it was I don't remember what it was, 120 grit. I think it was 150 grit, but this is what this is anyways. So I got a couple pieces of HDPE here. They're all marine grade starboard. I like the finish. I don't see why it would make a difference in gluing unless I was trying to glue like this, which I won't in this case. I'm going to try to do some side-by-side glues. And I have these two pieces were cut on a nice solid, rock solid saw. And then I got a couple other pieces with a little bit rougher edges, but they're close, and I'm gonna see how that works out as well. And forget about those. So this is JB Weld plastic bonder, blah blah. Set time 15 minutes. Sand time is 36. Dry as tan. I just grabbed whatever. I didn't care what it set as. So doesn't say anything about HDPE here. Doesn't say anything stating it couldn't, though, I guess. 2-part urethane adhesive. Nothing special, but the basics of every glue. Clean repair area of dirt, grease, and oil. Mix, apply, and wait. So make sure I read this all. Blah blah blah. Squeeze equal amounts into a disposable surface, mix thoroughly. I'm going to use a piece of acrylic here. It's paperback, that should be fine. Apply with appropriate tool in an even coat, weld, bead, or extruded shape as needed. Alright, so we'll try this out. Might speed this up a little bit on you guys so you don't have to sit there and gruel through me sanding. Alright, so this one has a little bit rougher edges here, and that's really part of the test, I guess I would say. I'm looking for an imperfect bond. I know that CA glue and acrylic really wants a real tight fit, and I think that would work out, but we'll see about this HDPE. Now, the one thing I don't know is I might have wanted to actually sand or carve a bevel into this, kind of like welding two flat plates together. I'm gonna guess no, but I could always come back and try that again sometime. We'll see how that goes. So, all right, world's smallest popsicle stick ever. That's awesome. I'm gonna use a old DigiKey package for our disposable surface. So you can at least kind of see it here. Alright, let's give this a whirl. Came out pretty nice and fluid. I'm gonna take a whirl, that's enough, we'll see. You know how this stuff works. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Alright. Guess I didn't have to do that whole thing, but it's alright. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to go with not clamping on this one. I have a clamp over here, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes without clamping, just for fun. Okay, I'm going to let that set up, and then we'll come back in 24 hours and see how it looks, and give it a test. Alright, that was 24 hours. I mean, for me. So, I was out today and I didn't really get a look at this stuff until now. And my first impression is it kind of looks like a, I don't know if you've seen ice cream or something like that that's dried. It's a little on the shiny and smooth side. That's what it kind of reminds me of what it looks like anyways. Yeah, same thing. So this guy here was the one that I sanded two pieces that were cut perfect, and then they matched up just perfectly. I also clamped them, and so in theory I would think if you're used to gluing plastics, this should be the one that works if this stuff does work. And this one had some gaps in it, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna first give them a little tug and see if they let go on each other. Yeah, that's no bueno. There's the finish on it right there. Yeah, it didn't even kind of bond. If I can pull this stuff up. Grab some tweezers. Just gonna grab some tweezers, see if it, yeah. So, I mean, maybe a little bit of dust in there, but it didn't really bond at all. Not really. Let's see how this goes. Oh, this one's definitely a lot better on there, but and while that might get you in a pinch, that's definitely not a bond I consider bonded. I really didn't think you could glue this stuff anyways, and JB Weld's great stuff, but HDPE I think is just not up to the challenge. Now, that being said, there's another option. There's one where they say you take the side and you're supposed to burn the side a little bit, not burn it, but heat it up with a yellow flame, and then drop some water on it and look at it, and then glue that as well. But well, I'm not going to try that. I don't really have any faith in it. I think HDPE is just one of those plastics that you're either going to have to weld together, do plastic welding, or you're going to have to use fasteners, and whatever, bolt it together, or rivet, or however you feel like fastening. HDPE is pretty sturdy. You could definitely put in some tapped inserts or something like that in there. So doesn't pass my muster. But if you have been able to successfully glue HDPE together, I would love for you to drop a link to a YouTube video in the comments down below. And if you have any other ideas on that, you let me know. But I'm pretty sure there's no gluing HDPE. Now, for fun, this mentioned you can glue plastic and metal together, which sounds crazy talk to me. So I grabbed a piece of ABS. I had a little bit of glue left. And this is some aluminum extrusion here, and I decided, I'll give it a whirl, why not? Yeah, didn't think so. So, maybe you guys can find some better uses for this stuff. I'm sure it's great on some plastics, but I tell you, this HDPE, it's awesome to mill and everything, but it's just impervious to gluing. Thank you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.